badgers and hedgehogs, welcome to lesson 3 of literacy on Jack and the Beanstalk. So today we are going to be learning to describe a market using our 5 senses. Now before you watch any more of this video, I would like you to go over to BBC and watch episode 3 of Jack and the Beanstalk. So we sent you this link in your learning letter this week, and I've also copied the link to the video down in the description box below. So go and take a look and then come back and watch the rest of this video once you've had a chance to do that. Great, so hopefully you have all now watched episode 3 of Jack and the Beanstalk. If you would like to, you can also go to the Storytime playlist on YouTube and you will find a video of me reading this version of the book of Jack and the Beanstalk. So today we're going to be describing a market using our 5 senses. In the video that you just watched, you would have seen that Jack has taken Daisy the cow to the market to try and sell her for some gold coins. So his mum, Jack's mum, has gone and asked him to sell Daisy, try and get 5 gold coins, she said. And so he's taken Daisy down to the market. He has been completely overwhelmed by all the hustle and bustle of that busy place. It's not just like a supermarket where you go and it's quite calm and empty. This type of market, especially in the olden days, would have been really, really noisy, really, really smelly, and lots of things to look at. So you'd have gone there to buy things, like you might have gone to buy some vegetables, some fruit, you might have gone to buy your bread there, you could go and buy animals even, and you would also go to sell your products. So Jack is going to sell his cow Daisy, but whilst he's there, he sees lots and lots of things and he can hear lots of things. He's seen pigs, he's seen sheep, in the video we can see ducks as well, horses, and then there's lots of other types of food, like we saw some bread on one of the stalls. They looked like some delicious cheese, some very colourful fruit, vegetables, even cake. So there's lots of things for Jack to see. And then at the end of the video he remembers why he's actually gone there, and it's to sell Daisy, unfortunately. But today we are going to be describing this market in our imagination using our 5 senses. So first things first, what do I mean by senses? We use one all the time and we talk about what we can see. That's one of the senses, our sense of sight. Another sense is our sense of hearing. What can we hear with our ears? Then we've got our sense of smell. What can you smell with your nose? We've got our sense of taste. What can you taste with your tongue or your mouth? And what you can touch with your hands, or what you can feel with your other parts of your body. And as I mentioned, we've got our sense of sight. So in our word bank today, we are going to be writing down those 5 senses. I'm going to draw some pictures as well. And we're going to have a little brainstorm about all the different things on the market that we could experience with those 5 senses. So here we go, I'm going to try and draw some pictures as well. What can you hear with your ear? That's my picture of ear. What can you hear with your ear? What can you smell with your nose? What can you taste with your mouth? Now that's going to be a hard one to draw. I'm going to try and draw a mouth, a pair of lips, and maybe I'm going to try and that's your tongue sticking out, like that. Then we've got our sense of touch. And usually when we talk about our sense of touch, it's about what we can feel with our hands. I'm going to draw some hands. Your hands. And then finally, what can you see? And I'm just going to draw an eye there to remind us that that's what can we see with our eye. Okay, so let's think back to that marketplace where Jack is with Daisy the cat to try and sell her. So, thinking about what we can hear, we could close our eyes and try and listen to what kind of things we could hear. Now, in the video, it was very, very noisy. You could even have a go at watching the video again, but this time close your eyes and try and hear all the different noises. I could definitely hear the sound of sheep. And it was the sound of sheep going baa. I also heard the sound of ducks actually being sold at the market. Ducks going, what sound do ducks make? Going quack. I heard the sound of horses going neigh. I could hear the sound of pigs. Lots of animals here. Pigs going oink. And not just animals actually, I think I could also hear the sound of people as well. So just people shouting out, trying to sell the things from their stalls or trying to buy things. So I'm going to put people here too. People shouting. So that's our sense of hearing. What can you hear? The next one I want to think about is what can you smell? I know it's quite hard when you're watching a video to try and imagine what you can smell because you can't see it or smell it through your computer screen. But that's where we have to use our powerful imaginations to try and imagine the sort of smells that you might find in a marketplace. So thinking about, if you could smell different types of food, what type of food do you have in the house which is quite smelly? It can be a good smell or it could be a bad smell. So in my house at the moment, in my fridge, I bought some cheese about 2 weeks ago now and it's very smelly. So maybe at the market, Jack might be able to smell cheese. He might be able to smell manure, and manure is created by animals when they poo. So sometimes when you see horses go past when they do a poo, it's quite a powerful smell. So you could say horse poo, horse manure. Let's think of some nicer smells. We don't want to be talking about animal poo, do we? What's a nice smell that you might smell at a market? Something pretty. Maybe some flowers. You could have flowers. And that's a nice smell. You could smell the sweet smell of flowers, or freshly cut flowers. And there's another smell which I really like, and it's the smell of bread when it's just come out of the oven. So those are all good and bad smells that you can smell in the market. Next we've got our sense of taste. Now this is tricky because really we have to usually put things in our mouth to be able to taste it. But sometimes we might be able to catch the taste of something in the air. And can you think of anything? What could it be? If Jack was lucky, he might be able to taste candy floss. If you make candy floss, sometimes the sugar goes up into the air, and if you stick your tongue out, you might be able to catch the taste on the tip of your tongue. And what else? Should we move on to touch? If Jack was going to be able to use his hands to try and feel things, are there different things at different market stores that he might be able to touch and feel? Maybe different textures. Maybe there might be a clothes store or fabric store. Maybe Jack could touch it to feel what it feels like. So we could say the touch of silky fabric. He could maybe buy some bread rolls and he could touch the bread roll. Really, you should be buying things before you touch them. But maybe a bread roll could be soft. A soft bread roll. Or how about some of the animals? Maybe he's feeling brave and he might want to just touch one of the animals to see what they feel like. Maybe he might touch the woolly sheep and feel what the wool feels like. Lots of different things to touch. And then finally, what can he see? And there's lots of things to see. He could see lots of people, or he could see lots of maybe colourful, oopsie, ran out of space then, colourful fruit stalls. I love going to markets and seeing all the colourful fruit stalls. So this is our kind of word bank of different senses that might help us with our description. And what I would like you to do today is use your 5 senses to write 5 sentences about everything that you experience as Jack in the market. We're using this word bank to help us. So what can you hear? What can you smell? What can you taste? What can you touch? And what can you see? First things first, I would like you to write today's date so that when you look back at your work, you know what day it was that you wrote it. So I think most of you might be writing this on Wednesday, so let's write Wednesday. With a capital W, remember, because it is a day of the week. Wednesday, the 29th of April. Again, April has a capital letter because it's a month of the year. And then 2020, because that is our year. So we've got our date. And now we've got some sentences that we need to write. I can hear. I can smell. I can taste. I can touch. Or if you want, you could say feel. I can feel. And finally, I can see. So this way, you're showing the reader, not just telling them, you're kind of giving them little clues about what the market is like. So these are our stem sentences, and our job now is to fill in the rest of the line. So, I can hear. What can we hear? If we were Jack taking Daisy to sell at the market, what sort of noises would we be able to hear? Remember, we've got our word bank here of useful clues that we could include in our sentences. I'm going to say, I can hear people. It's a hard one. It's a phase 5 tricky word, so well done if you managed to spell that correctly. I can hear people shouting. Now remember, capital letter at the beginning of a sentence, finger spaces between each word, and full stop at the end of your sentence. I can hear people shouting. If you wanted to make that sentence longer, you would use and as your joining word. I can hear people shouting and pigs oinking, maybe. I can smell. So remember, smell is with our nose. What kind of smells might you be able to smell? I can smell, I'm going to put, I can smell baked bread. That's a lovely smell. I can smell baked bread. I can taste candy floss. I can touch. What's he going to touch? I think I'm actually going to put I can feel. It makes a bit more sense when we put it in a sentence. I can feel a soft, what might he be able to feel? A soft, can I have some ideas? I can feel a soft, woolly feel a soft, woolly sheep? And finally, what can Jack see? I want lots and lots of ideas here, so I'm going to give you 10 seconds to shout out as many things as possible that you think Jack might be able to see. Okay? Use your imaginations. Okay, well done to all of you who managed to think of some things that Jack could see. I'm going to put, I can see colourful fruit stalls. And stalls is like the tables where you put all the fruit laid out, all the different colours of the fruit. And that is my 5 sentences. So, badgers and hedgehogs, your challenge now is to go away and write today's date. It might be different the day that you're watching this video, so check with your adult what day it might be. And you're going to be describing your market using your 5 senses. So what can you hear? What can you smell? What can you taste? What can you feel? And finally, what can you see? And if you would like, you could add some pictures to help describe the story to the reader. And then it would be great if at some point this week your adults can send your class teacher your wonderful writing. Good luck and see you tomorrow.